Welcome to our journey through the world of finance, where we transform what drags us down into something that lifts us up. Imagine finding a hidden treasure in your backyard. That's what we're about to do with our finances. But instead of shovels and maps, we're armed with knowledge and strategy. This adventure is all about turning liabilities into assets. Have you ever felt like your financial goals are just out of reach? Like there's always something holding you back? You're not alone. But what if I told you that the key to unlocking your financial freedom might already be in your hands, disguised as a liability? In the chapters ahead, we'll dive deep into identifying these hidden weights, polishing them into gems, and even making them work for us. From the debts that keep us up at night to the underused resources gathering dust, we're going to uncover the secrets to turning them around. Get ready to look at your financial situation in a whole new light. We'll cut through the noise and simplify the complex, all while keeping our eyes on the prize. Financial freedom. It's not just about saving money, it's about creating wealth and opportunities from what we already have. So, let's turn those financial burdens into financial blessings. The journey begins now. Chapter 1. Identify and understand the liability. Did you know that, according to a survey by CNBC, nearly 77% of Americans said they feel anxious about their financial situation? That's a lot of us looking at our finances and wondering where the weight is coming from. It often comes down to liabilities. But what exactly is a liability? In simple terms, it's anything that takes more out of your pocket than it puts in. This could be a high-interest loan, a car that guzzles gas, or a house that needs constant repairs. Here's the thing. Not all liabilities are created equal. Some, like a mortgage, can feel heavy but are actually stepping stones to owning a valuable asset. The trick is to figure out which liabilities are holding you back. It's like what Robert Kiyosaki says in Rich Dad, Poor Dad: the rich focus on their asset columns while everyone else focuses on their income statements. So, let's start by looking at our own balance sheets. What's costing us money without giving much back? For many, it's consumer debt. Credit cards, with their high interest rates, can quickly go from a convenience to a chain around your financial freedom. Did you know the average credit card interest rate hovers around 20%? That means for every $100 you owe, you could be paying $20 extra per year just in interest. Understanding your liabilities isn't just about knowing what they are. It's about understanding their impact. A car loan might seem manageable, but if it's eating up 20% of your monthly income, it's a heavy weight to carry. It's about seeing the real cost of our financial choices. Chapter 2. Assess and increase the value. Now, on to turning stones into gems. Ever heard of the saying, one man's trash is another man's treasure? That's what we're doing here. Take real estate, for instance. A rundown property might seem like a liability, but with some strategic renovations, it can become a lucrative rental space. It's all about seeing the potential. In fact, studies have shown that certain home improvements can increase property value by up to 20%. But it's not just about physical assets. Skills and knowledge can also be liabilities if they're not being put to good use. Maybe you're great at graphic design, but you're stuck in a job that doesn't utilize this skill. That's a liability. By freelancing or starting your own business, you can turn that skill into an income-generating asset. And let's not forget about debt. Yes, even debt can be turned into an asset. How? Through refinancing or consolidation. If you have a loan at 10% interest and you can refinance it to 5%, you've just reduced your costs and improved your cash flow. It's like finding money you didn't know you had. Here's a unique angle: investing in yourself. Education can seem like a liability with its upfront costs, but the potential increase in earning power turns it into one of the best assets you can have. A study by Georgetown University found that college graduates earn $1 million more over their lifetime than those with only a high school diploma. Chapter 3. Restructure debt. Debt can feel like a dark cloud looming over your finances. But what if I told you there's a silver lining? Restructuring debt isn't just a fancy financial maneuver, it's a practical strategy to lighten the load. The idea is simple. Negotiate your way to lower interest rates or better repayment terms. Think about it: if the average household debt in the US is over $90,000, as reported by Experian, even a small percentage reduction in interest rates can save thousands over time. Let's break it down. Say you have a credit card debt at 18% interest. By transferring that balance to a card with a 0% introductory rate, you're giving yourself a breather to pay down the principal. This isn't just smart, it's a game changer. It's like Warren Buffett says, if you're smart, you're going to make a lot of money without borrowing. But debt restructuring isn't only about moving numbers around. It's about changing how you interact with your money. For instance, consolidating multiple debts into a single loan with a lower interest rate doesn't just save money, it simplifies your financial life, making it easier to manage and less stressful. And let's not forget about mortgages. With interest rates fluctuating, refinancing your mortgage at a lower rate can reduce your monthly payments significantly, freeing up cash for investments that yield a higher return. It's about playing the long game, using the tools available to turn the tide in your favor. Chapter 4: Leverage for Income Generation. Now, onto a more exciting part: turning liabilities into income streams. This chapter is where creativity meets finance. Imagine your spare bedroom, empty garage, or even your car. Each of these can become a source of income with a bit of ingenuity. For example, the rise of platforms like Airbnb and Turo has made it easier than ever to monetize unused space in vehicles. But leveraging assets goes beyond just renting out space. It's about seeing every liability as a potential asset. Take, for instance, a high-interest loan. It might seem counterintuitive, but taking on strategic debt to invest in high-return opportunities can amplify your wealth. It's what Robert Kiyosaki refers to as good debt, borrowing to acquire assets that put money in your pocket. One fascinating strategy is peer-to-peer lending. By lending your money to others, you're essentially turning your cash into an income-generating asset, often with higher returns than traditional savings or investment accounts. And with the global peer-to-peer lending market expected to reach $558.91 billion by 2027, according to a report by Allied Market Research, it's clear there's potential for substantial gains. But perhaps the most straightforward strategy is to invest in yourself. Upgrading your skills or learning new ones can turn your ability to earn into your most valuable asset. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics shows that higher education levels correlate with lower unemployment rates and higher earnings. In essence, investing in your education is one of the highest return investments you can make. Chapter 5: Cut costs and improve efficiency. Trimming the fat off your budget doesn't mean skimping on the good stuff, it means getting smarter about where your money goes. Did you know, for example, that by simply adjusting your thermostat a few degrees, you can save up to 10% a year on heating and cooling? It's the little changes that often lead to big savings. But let's talk bigger picture. Negotiating with suppliers can turn what seems like a fixed cost into a variable one with room for reduction. It's like haggling at a market. If you don't ask, you won't receive. And in business, every penny saved is a penny that can be invested elsewhere. Remember, it's not about making huge cuts but about optimizing what you already spend. For those of us with loans, did you consider that refinancing isn't just for mortgages? Student loans, auto loans, even personal loans can often be refinanced at lower rates, reducing monthly payments and freeing up cash. It's a strategy that requires a bit of legwork but can pay off significantly in the long run. And let's not overlook technology. Automating processes with software can not only save time but reduce errors, which, in turn, saves money. According to a report by McKinsey, automation can reduce the cost of a financial activity by up to 30%. It's about working smarter, not harder, leveraging technology to take care of the mundane tasks so you can focus on the big picture. Chapter 6: Innovate and Repurpose. Innovation is the name of the game when it comes to turning liabilities into assets. Ever heard of a company struggling with surplus inventory that turned it into a new product line? It's a classic example of thinking outside the box, using what you have in a new and profitable way. But innovation isn't just for physical products. Services, too, can be repackaged or reimagined to meet new market demands. With the rise of the gig economy, for instance, skills that were once considered hobbies can now be monetized. Platforms like Etsy, Fiverr, and Upwork have created marketplaces for talents that previously had no platform. And let's talk about repurposing. That underutilized piece of equipment in your business could be the key to entering a new market segment. It's about seeing beyond the conventional use of assets and imagining what else they could be. This is the essence of innovation, not creating from nothing, but seeing the potential in what already exists. Take, for example, the concept of upcycling in the fashion industry. Brands are turning old, unsold clothes into new collections, not only reducing waste but tapping into the growing trend of sustainable fashion. It's a win-win. appealing to environmentally conscious consumers while giving new life to what would have been waste.